Good morning and welcome to Morning Brew with your girl Germaine. Give me a second. I forgot to start my coffee. So it's brewing while we're doing this introduction coming on the show. Let me make sure. Okay. Yes. Good morning. Um, I hope everyone out there is doing great. Let's say that. We're living in times right now is unexpected, but fight for your peace. I want to say that. But today's brew is free speech isn't free. So this is part of our power series this week. We just did on Tuesday, We the People. Yesterday we had a conversation with a men's corner, talking with four men about some things. And but today it's about free speech isn't free. So while you're chiming in, let me know what you're drinking. You know me, I'm making my hazelnut. Maybe you don't know me because this could be your first time chiming in for a coffee break with me. But I hope you have a few minutes to stop by for a coffee break. I would love to have you stop by and talk it up a little, chat it up a little bit, get your viewpoints on some things or your comments. Hey, Jesse Moss, 92775. Hope all is well out in Sacramento. Um, but I do want to say that this might be a little heavy, and you may find the temperature gauge go up, up, and up. But right now, I'm going to try to keep my peace because I've been fighting to keep my peace and protect my peace. Good morning, Lonnie. Good to have you chime in. We got to catch up. So, good morning. Glad to have you on. So, today is free speech isn't free. All right, guys, y'all know how we do. We take a pause so we can pour into purpose. So, not sure what you're drinking, but like I said, I'm waiting for my coffee to finish brewing. If you are chiming in, please just say hi, say good morning, let me know. Hey, if you decide you want to buy me a cup of coffee, that's a way that you can support Morning Brew. Hello, Joe. Hello, Joe. Look, I'm gonna just say it just like your handle, Joe L. Pressy. Joe Levette was one of our authors for Authors Brew Friday, and incredible. You got to go buy her books. You absolutely got to go buy her books. And what I'll do is I will, real quick, since she chimed in this morning, I'm going to share it with you really quickly. Um, just so you can stop by. It's always good to support authors because right now people are taking a stance. People are definitely taking a stance to let their voices be heard, and I absolutely commend them. So I just want to say this morning, give me a second as we're getting things together, getting my coffee ready. I'm going to really jump into this message that free speech isn't free. Okay. And for you guys, your voice is a gift and it's also a tool. And maybe you didn't know that. I shouldn't always assume that you do know something because maybe you don't know that your voice is a gift, but it's also a tool. So, in this world of full noise, I mean, it's so much noise right now going on in this world. So much noise. Um, when you think about social media, when you think about the digital platforms, the social media platforms, that's where a lot of people are now getting their news and they're getting their information from. When you think about all the lies that are clogging up the airways, the space, there's just a lot of noise. It's a lot of noise, and people don't know what they should believe. People decide to believe what they want to believe, and at the end of the day, it just feels like we're heading to a place we really don't need to be. Or do we? Listen, right now, all I want to say is I just want to encourage you, inspire you that your voice, it's a gift and it's also a tool. And I'm going to come back to even the platform of my publishing company. With being a publisher, what is important for me is allowing a space that I can really help authors, or even if you're not an author just yet, but someone that has a voice, that has the story, the power of your story, to be able to know how to use it. And also to know the power of your story is currency. Most people don't think that far, but it is. And so, with that, your voice, we need to hear your voice. Let it be of sound, let it be of substance, let it be of something that will help elevate us as a people. But you know what? Stories come in all different shapes, sizes, styles, speeches. It comes in so many different forms. So, it is not my job as a publisher to limit your voice. And I have authors that have come to me from other publishing companies that wanted to silence their voice or not give them name recognition for their story, wanted to change their story. And at the end of the day, it's not your voice anymore. When they want to silence you, when they want to change the words, I mean, literally the entire manuscript, that makes no sense. So, how is it your voice? How is it your free speech? How is it your power to share your story that you have endured, that you have gone through, when you have these companies that want to silence you? Mm. If you're someone that has experienced that, stop by hovpub.com. Let me just put that up. Stop by my publishing company, because I have dealt with 17 years, going into 18 years in the business. I have worked with so many authors. That has been their story, that they tried to silence my voice. They tried to not allow me to use my name for my story. If that's you, and you have a story that you know must be told, that can help change lives, that can help uplift people, that can help people see there is hope in their life journey. If you have a story that's a guide to help someone navigate through different things, to teach someone something, to educate others, if you have a story, or if you have a book, if it's just pure poetry, if it's on I do a lot of books on just quotes and sayings to help inspire and uplift people. But if it's just your story, if it's just your story, your autobiography, your life journey, your life's work, if you have a story, and it is your right to have free speech, it is your first right amendment, and you have a story, but you have no idea how to even get it into the marketplace, I definitely need you to stop by hovpub.com. Come visit me. Germaine, I am the owner. I'm a personal coach, but I am someone that I believe God has given this as my assignment, to really help midwife or birth out one's vision, their stories, to be able to allow it to resonate in the marketplace, not just the marketplace, it does something to you as well. Okay. Now I done deviated a little bit from my well, not so much from my topic, but just from my talking points. But I don't know. I just felt led, because there's so much power that we do not understand we have, that we possess in our stories, right? Okay. So I'm gonna get my coffee real quick. Y'all hold on for one quick second while I grab my coffee. Um but we can still talk. And if you have any questions, if you want to chime in with any comments, please do so. Okay. And so, but let me get back to it. Okay. So, like I stated, your voice is a gift, and it's a tool. So, like I stated, in a world that right now we all know there's so much noise going on, you see the changes of things happening. There's so much lies that people want us to believe and make it seem like it's the truth. But stand strong. Stand strong, hold your peace, keep, well, maybe not, well, yes, when I say hold your peace, fight for your peace in a world of chaos, because it'll allow you to go places, and they want, you know, you they want to break you, but you know what? Stand your ground, hold your peace, and know exactly who you are. And someone said to me a long time ago, when you possess power, you don't have to fight and convince people of that power. It just is, right? So think about it. Why? Ask yourself the question, why do they work so hard? Why do they work so hard to put a narrative out there that's not true, to try to destroy a race of people, to try to claim and own everything that we have created for themselves? Why do they try so hard? So then I ask you, who possessed the power? Hmm. Because you don't have to work that hard to eliminate, to annihilate, to destroy something if you have the power, right? That's a question for thought. Just think about that. Why are they trying so hard? Why are they trying so hard to convince people we're not smart? Why are they trying so hard to convince people we haven't created the very place they reside in? Why do they try so hard? Think about that and ask yourself, who possessed the power? Man, we as black people, we got a lot of power with us. We just got to know it. We're smart, intelligent, got a lot going on. We're creative. Think about all that we've created that the world uses today. We, yeah. That's why it's so important that we must come together. We must unite together to fight together, not individually, together. But this message today is about free speech and how it isn't free, as we can see, right? So let me get more into this. So, all right, guys. So we're going to go into this segment right now, which is pour into purpose. So let's start pouring, okay? Free speech is a right and a responsibility. Words can build or break. We see that. We see that. Weaponizing words to break you. That's why it's so important. It's so important to share your story. It's so important to share your story. It's your right. It's yours. You own it. It's yours. And there's so many different ways you can share your story, right? So let me talk about that real quick. So right now, like I stated, I'm a book publisher. I've owned a book publishing company for over 17 years, right? A lot of bestsellers. Um, and it all came through referral, word of mouth. Thank God for that, because that means people find something that you're doing right and they want to be a part of it. Or people, it's a trust process. It is. You can't trust everybody. And like I stated, there have been nightmare stories of people that have come to be a part of the HOV, Hope and Vision publishing family, that just have nightmare stories. I was just on a phone meeting with someone that was referred to me by another author of mine that's been with me for years. And she talked about, and she thought, and be careful, please be careful out there, because she mentioned that it was Amazon. There's so many scams going on in this world to take advantage of you, to actually rob you of your story, to discourage you. Um, and when you think it's a trusted entity that people will use, they take advantage of you in the name of someone else or in the name of something else, right? So just be mindful. Be mindful. It is hard. It is hard trying to find, and this is what's been told to me, just trying to find someone that you can trust to be able to treat your story as if it was their own, but to be able to partner with you, that you still own 100% the rights to your story and be able to, it's hard to find that. So I want to let you know that I'm here. We do have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau at Hope of Vision Publishing. And but the thing is, that's why 17 years built on referrals. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I'm clear about my assignment. Okay. I'm clear about my assignment. And so if you are someone that is seeking to find a partnership or relationship with a publisher, even if it's self-publishing through a publisher to help pull everything together, or maybe it's someone that just really, I don't want to do anything. I want to give you my story and I want to just allow you to take it from the manuscript to the marketplace. Whatever your situation may be, we're here. And on hov.pub, you can go and see all of our services. We offer the regular traditional style publishing, but we also offer self publishing. Um, we offer different types of publishing that you can take advantage of, and also consulting you through the process. So, with that being said, let me get back into this free speech as a right and a responsibility, and how your words can build or break. We see that every day, right? Okay. Not everything that's true needs to be said, but some things must be said. Yeah. These are just some points that I just want to leave with you for you to, um, if they apply, hey, if they don't, if it's something that just needs to be watered and it's a seed being planted, that works as well, also. So, wisdom is knowing the difference. Who? What between truth and a lie, right? And it's a lot of lies going on right now. It's like almost, it feels like our country is just being built on lies right now. But at the end of the day, always know who you are. Know your strength, know your power, and what you're able to do in the midst of others. You do not ever have to feel like you got to walk this journey alone. You're not by yourself, okay? All right. So let's pour a little more, guys. Let's pour a little more. And so, with that, let's talk about how silence can be complicity. Your silence may be misunderstood as agreement. Be mindful, just be mindful of your surroundings. I go back to the the three things God had given me during a course, during some time in my life. Um, and one of them was be still, be watchful, and do not insert yourself. Those three things: be still, be watchful, and do not insert yourself, right? And so sometimes it's good, instead of feeling like you got to always have an answer or response right away, sometimes it's good to be silenced. But just keep in mind, silence can also be looked at as complicity, like you're complicit in that thing that's happening. So, with that, you can advocate without being aggressive. Don't let fear muzzle your mission. So this is something that I'm learning, because sometimes it's getting into a discussion and I don't know if it's passion, I don't know if it's anger, upset, whatever, but I find sometimes the voice can elevate and then it's like shh. So I am learning, and as I watch certain people, especially Jasmine Crockett, because she has a lot of pressure, a lot that comes at her, a lot that comes on her. She even talked about the death threats and all that stuff, right, that she gets. And I watch how she keeps her composure. And I'm just using her as an example because there's others also. But I just watch how, because she knows her stuff, she understands, she understands her power. She understands her power clearly. And that's a perfect example. You don't have to convince anybody, especially somebody that's trying to, talk negative against you. that just want to be on a loud soapbox talking about nothing, just loud noise about nothing. Some things you don't have to respond to. You just don't. Why? Why? People are going to say whatever they want to say, right? Everybody has an opinion. They're going to say whatever they want to say. But at the end of the day, why respond to stuff like that? And I just heard something how someone, and I do not want to give power to the names of people that have nothing to say but noise, and just saying loud noise, saying stuff, calling her out her name. And the thing is, why respond? That's not who you are. Who are you going to try to convince? Because they're going to believe what they want to believe, right? So I'm learning how to protect my peace, because it is more important than trying to convince someone who don't care about me anyway how wrong they are. So, with that being said, let me keep pouring into purpose, right? So, courage doesn't always roar. Mm, Sometimes it whispers truth. So, speak even if your voice shakes, even if you're nervous and you're unsure and you have something you need to say, right? Speak, speak. Courage will come. Yep. Truth frees not only you, but others too. That's why it's so important to, if your story will impact and really affect and free people, tell it, write it, say it. I'm telling you, and watch. You may never know the people that you free from your words, from your speech. But you know what? That's not the focus. I always say just be obedient. If you know you have a story, if you know you have a book in you, and you need to share it with the world, be obedient. So I'm going to say, hold on, let's see. I'm going to post this. Um, Jolivette Presley, she says, we have to really pray for Jasmine Crockett. Absolutely, because she speaks the truth. And people who live in the deceptive lifestyle does not want to hear the truth. That sums up that sums up really today's coffee brew, because free speech isn't free. There is a price that comes with it. And you are absolutely right. Praying for those that are out there on the front line, that are fighting this battle on behalf of we the people. And what's incredible? She's just fighting for the rights of people. Um, all people, even if they want to be the opposition and come against her, even if they want to oppress, you know, But at the end of the day, you're absolutely right. We must pray. We must pray. We must pray for her safety and those, and it's so many more, and even ourselves out here. So, but thank you. Thank you for that. And so, let me, all right. The one thing I want to say before closing out the Pour in a Purpose segment, your perspective might be someone else's breakthrough. I want to leave that with you. That's why your story, don't remain silent. Don't remain silent. We are living in a time our voices need to be uplifted. They need to be heard because they want to silence us, but no. Raise your voice. Raise your voice. Tell your story. It's time, more than you realize, as we unify together, as we unite together, but definitely continue to understand the power that you possess. Why do they fight so hard to silence us? Why do they fight so hard to annihilate us, to eliminate us? Think about it. Who has the power? They don't want to see truth. And this is the funny thing. They know they lying. I firmly believe that they really know they are lying. But they're going to push the narrative. Mm. Who has the power? Okay. All right, guys. So listen, this is a part that we all can take place in, right? We can all take part in this. And so let me just pull this down real quick. We can all take part in the reflection questions. So these are two questions that I want to leave for you, thought questions that I want to leave for you. So the first one is, what truth are you being called to speak? That's the first question. What truth are you being called to speak? And then let's talk about the next truth. Where have you silenced yourself to stay comfortable? Whew, I'm thinking about those right now. That's super hot. All right. So let me just say those two questions again. What truth are you being called to speak? In the second question, where have you silenced yourself to stay comfortable? Whew, sometimes we got to get a little uncomfortable. All right. So, guys, thank you so much for those that are chiming in, those that are just joining in the community to share a coffee break with me. I'm going to bring it to a close because I know we got some busy days and we got some works to do. But I hope something resonated with you. And if not, hey, share the information. Before we go into our last segment, I just want to say a few things before we close it out in the final sip. So, if you are new and you are chiming in for the first time, I do see new names come up. Deb, Dave, underscore 123. Thank you so much for chiming in. But if you're someone new, please, in the descriptions that I post and I put out there, please go to my YouTube and make sure you subscribe. We're building a community on all the platforms, but YouTube definitely building a community. We have over almost 12,000 followers over there. So please make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit the notification bell. And as I'm learning these algorithms and how things work, make sure you like or even comment. Even after the live, you still have the opportunity to go in, watch, comment, leave information, like, subscribe, listen, notifications, all that good stuff. I'm learning. I'm still learning. But in the meantime, thank you. I do want to thank you for just taking time out of your busy schedules to stop by for a word of inspiration and a shot of encouragement through Morning Brew with your girl, Germaine. And let's get ready to close out in our final segment. But before we do, I always want to give an opportunity because people honestly ask me, how can we support Morning Brew? And so I just tried to make it a little easier by just buying me a cup of coffee. Hey, this is Morning Brew with Germaine, and we are taking a coffee break, right? So this is a platform that will allow you to buy me a coffee. It's a way of supporting for as little as $1 or whatever amount you decide you want. But for as little as $1, buy me a cup of coffee that shows support and that you enjoy the platform, and for us to keep moving forward. So it is buymeacoffee.com/ morning brew with Germaine. And I'll just put that banner up so you can see the full banner as well. But I do appreciate you all just stopping by, even if you're not coming into the comments. Thank you so much from even watching from a distance and afar. I appreciate you more than you know, because if you have listened to my morning break, my morning brews, you will understand this was not easy to step out and to do this, and not to record and then post, but to do it live 5 days a week. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just taking a bold move to say, okay, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to go all the way. But the hardest thing was consistency. Because if you're in my YouTube, which is Morning Brew with Germaine, in the YouTube, you'll see even some of my previous podcasts for Hope of Vision Connect, which deals with authors, in-depth conversations with authors, their stories and everything. And we will be revisiting that, bringing that back. And you'll realize I wasn't consistent. Mm-mm. I wasn't consistent. But when I decided to do this, One of the things was I had to be consistent. So that's something I've been working on. And as you know, hey, if you like me, you know it ain't always easy. I'm now applying that same thing to working out every morning. Yes, I'm getting back to it, getting back to my health. Because that's all. Listen, they say if you don't have your health, what do you really have, right? It don't matter how much money you have. If you don't have your health, So working on those things and just allowing consistency to show up everywhere in my life. Okay. So now with that, let's get into the final sip. But before I do, I did just see a comment. Okay. Let me put this. Yes, I do want to share this. Thank you. Thank you, Joe Levette. My truth that I am being called to speak is out against the things that happen in the body of Christ. And that's why Broken Mirrors was birthed, because God is trying to send a message to the people of God. Amen. Please make sure you go to Amazon and get her book. I mean, she has two books on Amazon. And you know what? I want to just I'm going to just put the links in real quick into the comment section also. So give me a second, because I did say I was going to do that, and I want to be able to add that right now as I just quickly pull it up. Oh my gosh, this is taking, I'm going into my Amazon account, so bear with me. But hey, once again, I don't know what just happened. Hold on one second. All right, all right, all right. I do want to pull this up because I do appreciate my authors that I work with, really pushing and encouraging them to be able to write, and also these are platforms to help build and promote authors that I've worked with, sharing stories across the world. And so, yes, here we go. Okay. So we have Broken Mirrors by Jolivette Pressey. And yes, they are available on Amazon. We also have Unmasking the Real Me. And I'm going to just share the links with you right here so you can be able to have the opportunity to go in and purchase her book. So Jolivette, I'm putting her name in, Pressey, author. And please make sure you stop by and get both of her books. That's a long link, but you know what? It's in the feed. Yes, it's in the feed. So you will be able to go in and grab it. Okay. All right, guys. And on that note, thank you all so much. We are going to bring the final sip to a close. So let's go into the final sip. And right now, your voice can heal, it can help or ignite. Use it with purpose. So continue to speak truth, sip bold, and stay free. And I'm going to also say, protect your peace. But like I stated, if you have a story that you know you need to share with the world and you just don't know the process or how to make it happen, make sure you stop by hovpub.com. And I'm here. I'm here to walk you through the process to bring your book to the marketplace along with you, okay? But on that note, tomorrow is Friday, and Friday is Authors Brew Friday. So we will have an author in studio. So I will see you tomorrow, and I hope you have a minute to stop by for coffee with me again. Thank you so much. And thanks to all those that are supporting Morning Brew just by showing up. I love you guys. Have a great day, and please be safe.